Some good memories of 1979 there, by way of preparing you for the first one-day international between England and Pakistan at the Oval on Thursday.
After highlights of today's cricket international.
Hello there, and welcome to the Oval for the first of 3 one-day international matches, England against Pakistan for the TEXACO Trophy. 55 overs aside. We started off with a little rain here this morning and high winds, still a bit chilly, but happily everything started on time at 10:45 when Mike Gatting won the toss and put Pakistan into bat. Let's just take a look at the two teams here. England left out Graham Gooch and Gregory Thomas, and Pakistan, the spearhead of their attack, Imran Khan and Wasim Akram, then a little medium pace, and the off-spin finally of Tosif Ahmed. Well, we got off to a good start, as I say, on time. Pakistan were batting. We'll join the action now. The third ball of the day. Graham Dilley is bowling to Mudassar, and there are no runs on the board at this point.
Have to be quick. And well done, beautifully picked up and thrown. Tragedy for Pakistan at the start. No wonder Gatting's looking in 7th heaven there. What a tragedy for Pakistan. Ramiz Raja, the brilliant young player, run out. An indecisive call. Here's Jack Bannister.
Well, the opening batsman's nightmare here, run out without facing a ball. Hesitation on both players' parts, good underarm throw.
Mansour Akhtar is listed to come in at number 3. Graham Dilley, the bowler, coming in from the Vauxhall end. I have a feeling Mr. Dilley might store that away for future reference. Well caught. Gatting's been out of action with the damaged finger, but he caught that very well on his left-hand side. Mansour Akhtar goes. Hasn't looked entirely convincing at any stage, with Dilley getting movement way off the seam, and England have struck again.
Well, the classic fast bowler's dismissal here, and Graham Dilley, you see that ball cutting away, finding the outside edge, and there's Gatting safely pouching that to his left. Really a really high-class delivery.
And on his way out there at the moment, Javed Miandad, fresh from double century against Sussex. 842 runs at 52 last year in 21 matches. A fine performance and a very fine player.
Almost a chance there. He's going for 2 runs. John Ember returning. Another great throw. It's a big ground, the Oval, and that was another very fine throw right over the top of the stumps. And another flash, but it's right over the top of the slips again. If you're going to flash, you flash hard and you get the top edge, and that's what happens. But a little bit unlucky for the bowler. So he dug it in, made it bounce a bit, and certainly way over the top of the slips there.
Well, that's 3 short balls running from Graham Dilley. They've cost runs, might have picked up a wicket, but it's dangerous tactics in one-day cricket. You really need to just keep hammering away and keep it tight.
Another fine delivery there. And that just evading slips right hand. And really, Graham Dilley's figures won't do him justice there, because 3 balls there could all have been wicket-taking balls, and he's finished up with 10 runs off them.
Is Foster to Madassa. Shot of the morning. Nice way to bring up the half-century after the early disasters, with Ramiz Raja out for naught and Mansur Akhtar for 12. He's got it through again. Just broad, and chasing vainly. 2 lovely shots.
It's Botham to Miandad. Oh, that was unluckily. Just moved away, outside edge, and just evading Jack Richards. In fact, Botham, up to last over, did have a slip, and that would have been straight in, but they've taken a slip out, and you see the result.
So the ball just running for Pakistan now. Too wide for Jack Richards there, because the nick came from quite straight. You're wider ball, sometimes the keeper's moving already in that direction, he can cover more ground.
And a repeat of the shot the over before. Lets the ball just come onto him and runs it down to fine leg. A very fine stroke.
Javed just getting the better of Ian Botham there. 100 up in 201 balls. And the second 50 has come up pretty quickly. 79 balls only for the second 50. So Pakistan really in with a shout now.
That's short, and that's pulled away beautifully there. There's a man out there just behind square, Chris Brubb, but that ball just passed 5 or 6 yards away and had no chance at all of getting to it. Beautifully timed. That's a fine shot, but the man out there, De Freitas, and he's got a pretty good arm, so they're not going to take him on for a second run. That's Miandad's 50, made from 85 balls. That's the 100 partnership between Javed Miandad and Madassa.
Is Foster to Madassa. Freitas. Well done, nicely positioned. Good effort. Kept his eye right on it all the way and took it comfortably. And that's just reward for Foster. He bowled pretty well this morning when he was coming from the pavilion end. Now he's slipped in to take the wicket of Madassa Nazar.
Madassa might look disappointed there, but he's done a good job, because he had to steady himself after being involved in that first run out, and he's battled on well, taken Pakistan to a score of 128 for 3, 15 overs left, and they should be capable of adding at least 100 from that. Here we go again, Madassa, inside out, square cutting on the up, and there's De Freitas moving to his left, and there's quite a wind swirling out there, and that was a beautifully judged catch.
Batsman crossed during that catch. Javed has strike. What a beauty. A little ripper.
De Freitas, who started off with such an impressive economical first spell, coming back on to try and get the wicket that England want. If they can nip Javed out in some way, then they've got every chance of keeping Pakistan down to a score of around 200. But if he stays there till the death, then it'll be somewhat in excess of that.
Magnificent stroke.
This is the sort of shot that you'd have expected Javed to try against John Embury, but certainly not a bowler of De Freitas' pace. Big hoik on the up over the top of mid-on. Nothing in the right place except the bat. So many of the Pakistan eggs are all in the Javed basket, and my word, now he's looking in prime form. Well, England just now happy for anything that can stem this run flow, and that was a middle shot from Imran, but found the one man out there in Chris Broad, who's got one of the safest pairs of hands in this England side.
Looks like a change in the batting order. Originally it was supposed to be Salim Malik coming in, but looks to me as though they've sent in Wasim Akram now. Dilly now to Javed Miandad. That's a good shot. Beating the man at gully and splitting De Freitas and Lamb, the men at deep point and orthodox third back.
It was the length of this delivery rather than the line which enabled Javed to make room. Look how well he got over that. Beautiful square cut. Takes him on to 99.
Very fine innings from Javed Miandad. Came in when Pakistan were having a few problems, and he's controlled this innings superbly all the way through. 183 for 4. Javed has 100. His fourth limited over century, and it took him only 130 balls. With 11 fours. Second time a Pakistan batsman has made 100 against England in this country. Way back in 1974, Majid Khan did the same, making 109 at Edgbaston. It's given that a tremendous belt. Well, Imran Khan says he can hit like a kicking horse. There it was.
Well, this is one good reason for the promotion. Marvellous hit.
Graham Dilley has pulled his deep fine leg in to save the single. That's great running. Great running.
Yes, if you can bowl for one a ball at this stage, you're doing very well. That's John Emburey is managing that. Just bowling it where they can't really get the bat at it too hard. And he's gone.
Well, John Emburey there doing him on the full toss, probably getting an inside edge onto his leg or something like that, and just onto the off stump. Now just straight onto the front leg, onto the back leg, onto the off stump. But it counts in the record books as bowled Emburey.
He's probably never ever been out like that in his life. Hit both legs and cannoned onto the stumps. I always found in international cricket, you always found a new way of getting out.
So saying that's flown over the top to third man, and ALLAN gets a good catch. And that's the wicket that England badly needed in the last few overs. But that's been a very fine innings indeed. But a good catch as well there by ALLAN. He had to make 20 yards, and he took it very comfortably.
Yes, fortunately this was just thick enough edge. The thin one would have gone for 4. And ALLAN has caught a super catch here. This is England again in Australian form. They haven't dropped hardly anything. They're a wonderful fielding side. ALLAN made it look easy, but it was a swirling catch which he clung on to well.
And a marvellous innings there by Miandad. Certainly it makes a big difference to this Pakistan side, and with him in good form, the others can play around him a little bit. And that's been a marvellous exhibition of batting. You see it again here, the cross-bat sloggers, we should say, very thick edge and down to fine third man. ALLAN there, beautifully balanced, watching the ball right in, and a good catch. Going up very high. John Emburey's after it, but he won't catch it, so that's 4 more runs to Manzoor, and that takes the score on to 228. They'll go for 2 again here. Oh, and if there'd been a bit back throw, it might just have been out at the wicketkeeper's end. But that's a good score, 232, and the game is nicely poised, over 4 and over, so England have got a game on their hands now, without a doubt.
So, as you see, there are 2 substantial innings there. The major partnership between Rudasa got that solid 45, and the brilliant century by Javed Miandad, which, by the way, is his 4th in international one-day cricket. 232 for 6. England's bowling quite tidy. The wickets going to Neil Foster, 2 for 36, Neil 11. Excellent bowling by him. John Emburey, frugal, economical, 1 for 36. And the top 2, Dillian de Freitas, just getting clobbered towards the end. So Pakistan, 232 for 6. England therefore need 233 to win the match off the 55 overs. A run rate, quite a modest one, of 4.24 runs per over. And so out they went. It was the old firm from last winter. It was Chris Broad and Bill Athy, and we will join them now. We join in the 5th over, 4th ball. 8 for no wickets the score, and Imran is bowling to Chris Broad.
Well, that's a fine shot. Turned up his legs again. Certainly threw a thought in this. The bowler from this end is Manzoor Ilahi. So Imran is probably saving Wasim Akram, the quicker left-arm ball, to come downwind and help him swing the ball in a bit as well. Oh, and that's a fine shot. Off the back foot, through extra cover, and nobody really bothering to move there. That's a beautiful stroke by Bill Athy. And this field there, and that's 4 runs. Good stroke off the back foot, plenty of power in it. It certainly should have been fielded.
Number 2 strike bowler Wasim Akram, that is going to be one of the great all-rounders, the man to follow in Imran's footsteps, and the first chance of a sight of him in an international in England.
Fine stroke from Bill Athy. Up in 88 balls. That's good going for England. No real alarms there. Pakistan took 122 balls for their 50 compared with England's 88. That's a good effort. Wasim Akram and Bill Athy has taken strike. And Athy picks up 4 runs. All valuable, even if they come off the inside edge.
Well, it's not often we see Bill Athy with a crooked bat, but there he was caught half and half, and a fairly fortunate boundary off the inside edge.
They could have got 4 had they wanted it. England need another 168. They have 37 overs remaining. Need to make them round about 4.5 and over. A change in the bowling. Madassan Azhar, who is only gentle medium pace, but has a pretty good record in limited overs cricket. He's a nagging bowler. He comes on now from the Vauxhall end. To be quick. Really had to hustle down there I think for one moment he might have forgotten that the man coming in to pick it up was a left-hander.
I think the impressive pace here is of umpire Shepherd, who, going backwards, he gets at least 10 or 12 yards away from the crease, in perfect position there to spot what's happening, well in line, and a long way away from his original starting place.
Great catch. Bilathi is gone. Super piece of cricket there. Madassa Nazar, the man who so often has achieved the breakthrough. And he's done it again with the assistance of Salim Malik.
Well, a marvellous catch. Bilathi not quite to it, but went through it on the up. A marvellous diving effort from Salim Malik there. It's just the thing that Imran wanted and Pakistan needed badly. England 76 for 1.
The England skipper, and straight away Imran Khan is bringing on his off-spinner Tausif Ahmed.
Mike Gatting has not resumed. He's got a toe infection, which must have come on very quickly during the tea interval. And he's not resuming, so Allan Lamb has taken his place. But Mike Gatting would be able to resume if England got in trouble and needed to come back in. Almost. Certainly played at that, did Chris Bird, and just missing the outside edge. Madassa certainly getting the ball just to swing and move away there, but it was a little bit wide as well. And that's the sort of thing he does. He pegs away and then he suddenly bowls a ball that swings quite a lot. It just moves a bit off the seam and takes the wicket. And you could see that moving away quite a lot, apart from being wide. A fine shot. Not a shot that you often see, but that was a very delicate late cut there for 3 runs. Another fine cut there from Chris Broad. And that, in fact, was 4 runs there, I would say. The fieldsman certainly touched that ball with his foot over the line. The umpires are inquiring. Well, they haven't given 4. But anyway, that was Chris Broad's 50. And a very fine innings again, continuing the good work he did in Australia during the winter. You can see the incident when the ball went through to the boundary. And there he has the ball in his hand. Now, with 1 foot still outside the line, and that is 4 runs. It's Tausif Ahmed to continue now to Allan Lamb. And that's a good stroke. A couple in it for Allan Lamb there. And that's the ended up in the 30th over. And that's a fine shot. Down the wicket, Hit it straight over mid-off, good follow-through, one bounce into the crowd. And that's what's required now. They need to score off these bowlers, because certainly if Imran comes back and bowls a good spell, it could put a bit of pressure on the batsman. But that was a fine stroke. Beautiful follow-through. That's a fine shot there by Allan Lamb. Get inside the off-spinner and wide mid-off for 6. Beautifully timed.
Well, the off-spinner's the one that the England batsmen have decided has got to go, and there you see Lamb making enough room to hit straight through that and straight over the top of extra cover for 6.
Lamb again, very quick, turned very quick. He made his mind up before he touched down, which is the way you've got to do if you're going to go for that second run. And he just turned quickly and was off. And Imran Khan's coming back into the attack, which probably felt he had to do. He's got to take a wicket or 2 now, and obviously he's only bowled 4 overs so far. That's a fine shot. That's the rate required now. Down to almost 5 and over now. It was about 5.18, but it's come down this last few overs. So 91 required off 18 more overs.
Straight. And the few bounces that's been hooked today. Quite a few bowled, but no one's taken do them in any real attacking vein.
It shows the gentle pace of the pitch. Allan Lamb all the time in the world there, and Imran's not the slowest, but right in position. The ball coming shoulder high, rolling his wrists over, keeping it down.
Nicely placed. Easy 2. Up for England. Came up in 239 balls. Last 50 in just 61. Fast ball at the over.
Oh, what a beauty that was. And I'm fully prepared to take him on, but in the end, no thank you.
And time for experiment. Mansur Akhtar. 1 wicket for 72 in limited overs internationals. Lamb's placement has been excellent today. Made 45 now, Allan Lamb, and he's hit 9 twos, just easing the ball away from the infield, getting it between the fielders. Wasim Akram, the bowler. Very, very close. It's a most ambitious second from Chris Broad.
Broad's turned immediately, but he's a bit slower over 44 yards than Allan Lamb. So a good accurate throw there, with Broad struggling to make good his ground. My word, he was.
placed. He'll go for 4 runs, even though the fielder in short, Salim Malik, managed to get his fingertips to it. It's Alan Lamb's half-century. The crowd is applauding. 51 to Alan Lamb. Roger McGraham's coming off his shorter run out there at the moment. Doesn't have an overlong run in any case. Well, what they hope is that it's not going to go. That's all right. If it had reached the rope, it would have been an extra 4. As it was, the batsman wouldn't run because it came off Alan Lamb's bat. Quite accidental.
And as you can see, England really way ahead of the game.
Good shot, that. This ball going for the 3rd, but no problem. Only quite quickly as Roger McGraham. He's only gone for a short run. It's not a quick wicket, and the keeper's well back to him. But he tried to ball a bounce there, and Broad flat batted it straight back. 1 bounce past umpire David Shepherd. But Tasif Ahmed's returned at the pavilion end. Got their way through mid-wicket for 4 runs, and that's just what England need now at this stage. Just 1 or 2 boundaries. Using his feet well, trying to make room, but then the bowler bowled it down leg side, and he just clipped it away through mid-wicket there. Very fine catch indeed, because it wouldn't be easy to see, and he made at least 20 yards there. The ball was delighted. Alan Lamb quite rightly trying to push on there and get the game finished and paying the penalty, but he played the right innings there for the side, and he looks in good nick, and it will give him a bit of confidence for the coming matches during the summer.
Alan Lamb has definitely decided to have a go, try and finish this game quickly before sort of rain or bad light brings it to a halt for today. He's just got a little high on the bat. And a splendid catch here, full stretch, but in fact he took it easily at the end, moving quickly.
David Gower arrived at the crease, not the best of times to come in. It's pretty dark, and he can keep scoring at quite a reasonable rate, so not easy at this moment to come in. Showing you how many matches that people play nowadays. This is David Gower's 100th limited over international. And that brings the 200 up for England in the 48th over. That's what England now require. 31 more to win off 7 overs at 4.43. For 3 here, and fine shot that through the covers.
Lovely shot. He's really held his position there, kept his balance, swung the bat. The only trouble is that it went for 3, bringing David Gower down to face Wasim Akram, who's probably a little bit quicker than he looks. This little short run and pretty dark.
Having said that, it bounced back off the fence without the field being able to move about 5 or 10 yards. Tremendous stroke there by David Gower, just behind square on the offside. And that really probably went to the boundary quicker than anything today.
Well, that really must be the sign of genius. To be able to time a ball as well as that for your first hit is quite extraordinary, because it's absolutely rocketed past.
That's Chris Broad gone for 99. Just trying to work it on the leg side, got the leading edge and just lobbed up there towards extra cover. Very disappointing, because he played very well, done just what England wanted, held the innings together, and disappointing that he can't just get that one more run for the 100.
And often enough those leading edges drop out of harm's way, don't go to a fielder, but this one has just gone straight into extra cover. And it flew a long way just for an outside edge, nearly cleared him.
Another wicket now, Ian Botham. Botham coming down the wickets, and Chris Farmer just pulled it down a bit, and he was very quick to swing it away to square leg. That could be it. David Gower sweeping the off-spin away down to fine leg, and the 2 runs required. So that puts England 1 up in this Texaco one-day international series, and in the 3-match series, that's always a very strong position to be in.
All of the England batsmen in good form. I suppose Mike Gatting the exception. He had an infected toe and retired hurt. Otherwise, substantial innings from Chris Broad. Good support from Bill Athey, ALLAN in excellent form, and David Gower and Ian Botham promising great things, but not required this time. 2:33 and the match was won. A bit of a struggle in the field for Pakistan. Manzoor, he was quite effective up front, but Wasim Akram, the big hope of Imran's side, rather expensive, and a little bit of stick down the order to 1 or 2 of those seamers. So there we are, we have the result of the first of these matches, England beating Pakistan by 7 wickets. There was a lot of dispute, well, down below, you know, in the crowd about the man of the match. Plenty of Pakistan support would love to have seen Javed Miandad made man of the match, but Pat Pocock, formerly of Surrey and England, chose Chris Broad, and how well he deserved it for his 99.
One change in both